Ahoy hoy gang, if this is your first time with us, welcome, and if you're joining us from a previous video, hey, we love to see it, and I hope you're doing well. Yeah! It's part 6 of Merry Bobmas, everyone! The top 5 episodes of Season 6. See, they said do a countdown for Christmas, so I did 2 on one day, because I'm smart. Season 6 was pretty good. I enjoyed it. I love Paul Rudd, and on the 100th episode, Bob gets stuck to a toilet. So, you know, there's a lot to see. So, what worked? What failed? I guess toilet-based interviews will be curtailed. There's a lot for us to get our fix here in the top 5 episodes of Season 6. Number 5, Sexy Dance Healing. I love John Glazer, and I love an episode where Bob can get along with someone he used to have a little bit of a fight with. And, I mean, who doesn't love Gyro? Gyro and his little capoeira and teaching in the basement. It's fun. It's great. Also, you know, not a big deal or anything, Steve Buscemi's in the episode. Who doesn't love the Booster? You know, he's an American hero. People don't talk about that enough. I love Sexy Dance Healing, and it's so endearing that Bob gets so wrapped up in getting hair bands and wanting to be his best Bob self, and it's fun. It's got charm to it. It's actually trying to do something unique, and I stand for it. I stand Gyro. Now, granted, at the end, it does feel very, you know, well, how do we make sure that everything goes back to normal for next week? Oh, what if Gyro just gets his apartment back and everything is fine? Oh, okay, cool. Okay, thanks, bye. But I don't care, because it actually shows growth on Bob's part. It actually shows a little bit of elevation on all the characters, and there's something there to work with. Like, is it a standoff episode? Yes. It is very much just a filler. You watch it, then you forget it, and we move on to next week's episode. But unlike, say, Family Guy, where, I don't know, just throwing this one out there, Peter assaults Cleveland Jr. because Cleveland Jr. was crawling into his home window one night, and that becomes a whole episode. It's, you know, you don't do stuff like that in Bob's Burgers. You gotta make sure you can effectively go back to normal without it feeling like too big of a jump, you know? And I think Sexy Dance Healing is that perfect out there, it happened, but if you didn't see it, you're not missing anything episode, while still having the sharp comedy that makes it a really good Bob's Burgers episode. Number 4, Stand by Gene. Again, I just love a good Gene episode, and I appreciate Stand by Gene for both Gene and Zeke. Zeke is honestly, again, a big reason why I love this episode, because he is all in on Team Gene. He wants to believe in what Gene thinks is there so much. He is willing to do anything for Gene, and he is his buddy, and I love that. I love that they have a camaraderie that builds through the show. You know, this is back from the museum episode, and you're seeing more of it now, and that's fun. Also, Gene is right. We get a payoff that shows that Gene isn't just super imaginative, but he's passionate about things, and that passion is intoxicating. And again, yeah, you have a Bob versus Linda episode, but you know that it's not going to destroy their relationship if the game doesn't go the right way. It's very much, you know, they make artificial conflict because they're bored, and that's fine. Stand by Gene as an episode I don't visit often, but when I revisited it for this review, it really struck a chord with me. I don't know, there was a lot more childlike whimsy and wonder to the episode than I remembered. It felt very, you know, summer adventure energy. Like, let's go out and look for something weird. And it shines because of how simple that idea is. Number 3, Tiki Kon Tiki. I know this is a bit of a debatable episode, and an episode that some people may not like at all, and justifiably so. I really like Tiki Kon Tiki because it shows that Bob isn't just some, you know, greasy fry cook or anything. There are successful people out there that he looks up to, that look up to him,
that see him as an inspiration, that see him as something they want to be like. I genuinely love that Bob has friends that care about him like that. It's such an important element, especially, again, compared to, like, The Simpsons or Family Guy, where those relationships can be twisted depending on the episode. Bob is usually viewed as a pretty good guy by all parties involved. Even his landlord gives him a little bit of slack because he just likes him. He enjoys having Bob around. And, you know, yeah, Bob has a very high sense of pride that I don't think I would have if I was offered that much money. Put a tiki wherever you want in my restaurant. Thank you for the cash. Like, I don't agree with his choices, but I at least understand in the context of the character why he made those choices. And that's a very important understanding for his character. I just, pro Tiki Kon Tiki. Also, Chris Parnell. Chris Parnell is really good, especially his chemistry with John Benjamin. You know, they've worked together for a long time. They've done Archer together. They know how to play off of each other. And this felt much more like, you know, John Benjamin talking with Chris Parnell rather than Archer beating down Cyril. It felt very genuine, and it almost felt like their friendship off screen helped evolve their banter for their characters in this episode, and I really appreciated that.
Number 2, The Horse Riderer.
I hated this episode when it first came out. When I first saw it and I saw Paul Rudd, I'm like, Paul, are you okay? What is this? What is going on here? And the more I dug into it, the more I'm like, this is just Napoleon Dynamite. This is just, you know, so normal and bland and uneventful in a perfect way. Like, Tina having a mental crisis because her horse in her dreams says that maybe he's the real one and she's not real. That will always get me. That will always get me that she's bothered by that. It's so funny. The episode is hysterical. And when I first watched it, I just sort of zoned out on it. But when I revisited it, like, Dan Mintz, I did not sing his praises in the series review at the time, but he really does put a lot of effort into giving this very Napoleon Dynamite delivery to Tina, especially this episode. And her final performance where she's just running around the track is amazing. And, you know, the Linda story is actually cute. I think it's synchronized swimming, but done better in my book. I don't know. I will at least appreciate that the kids missed the structure of what Linda was trying to provide, but that Tina stuff takes the cake. Let's not forget Teddy bringing in Jimmy Pesto's fries and them having a whole feud over the fryer being broken. Like, it's a perfect episode that has so many perfect elements to it.
Number 1, Glued Where's My Bob?
It's the 100th episode. You know I had to do it to him. I love Glued Where's My Bob. It's fun. It's dumb. It's Louise being the antagonist, and that's fine. You know, we shrug it off. We don't let it get to us. It's what I would expect of the 100th episode. Again, you have that board. You have the tropes. You have, you know, big interview is coming and character is stuck and will have to give interview in compromising position or location, etc., etc. But Bob is stuck on the futuristic toilet that Felix built in his bathroom that he can't get off because Louise superglued him to the toilet. That is Bob's Burgers. That, at its very core, is the best of Bob's Burgers. And you have everybody coming in. And, like, even if, you know, Ken Jeong is only in it for a second, he's still there. He's still getting a few lines in. You know, you've got Keegan-Michael Key in there. And it just shows how far the show has come in 100 episodes. It shows how beloved the show had become at this point. You know, so many seasons deep. It shines. And when I look at Family Guy's 100th episode, it's fine, sure, yeah. When I look at American Dad's 100th episode, that's perfect. And when I look at this 100th episode, I think it's a perfect balance somewhere in between. It does everything it needs to do. Great musical numbers. Louise is the weakest part of it, but what can you do? Kids are gonna be dumb, and that's just fine.
And there we have it. That was my top 5 episodes of season 6. Anything you think I was right on? Wrong on? What are your top 5 episodes? Bottom 5 episodes of the season? Let me know in the comments below. And if you liked what you saw, make sure to like, subscribe, and tell your friends, enemies, and betrayers we're out here. Season 6, Tom, was a pretty great season, and it was very easy to find 5 episodes. Between Paul Rudd being a horse and a Bob on an ass seat, it was truly an enchanting season full of quality. 'Cause why don't you want broadcast announcer academics sometimes, huh? Let me do my voices. Anyway, that's going to do it for us here at the Lecture Hall. And if you want to support the channel, consider joining our Patreon or membership programs today. $2 a month gets you special polls, posts, and even your name on this fancy list of champions. Look at it and weep. Like always, thank you all so much for watching. Stay strong, keep fighting that good fight, and know that I believe in you. We're not done yet. We're just getting started. We've got a lot more of Bobmas to get through. So goodbye, everybody, and I'll see you all next time.